All right, we are live. Hello, everyone. I am Wendar, and this is not the NFL Central podcast. I know it's Saturday, and I know that that's usually when the podcast happens, but some last minute changes. My good friend, the other host of the show, Josh, could not make it. Unfortunately, we didn't see that coming. That was a last minute thing. So instead, I figured I still wanted to do something, and I wanted to go over the weekly news and sort of recap what's happened this week, because I know that's always how we start out the show. And obviously, I'm not going to be able to do the other parts of the show, like go over schedules. We're going to analyze the AFC South, I think, this week, and their schedules, and see who's going to win and lose there, and who is going to take that division. But eventually, I guess we'll just have to push that off until next week, unfortunately. But like I said, I still want to go over some of the main news stories from the week and sort of talk about what's going on in the NFL in terms of players and I guess not rules. I don't think there have been any rule changes, but in terms of players and signings and injuries and things like that. So started off here is that, let's see, I'm trying to find the beginning of the week here. So one of the biggest stories right now is that Andrew Luck is going into the season on, or he's going into training camp, I should say, on the PUP list. So it's apparently he's going to be ready to play, and he's expected to play at the start of the regular season. But either way, this isn't a good sign for Andrew Luck. So we'll have to monitor that situation going forward and see what happens. And of course, even at the start of the season, he's missing out on all this practice now and this playtime now. So he's definitely going to be rusty. So this is not going to be a good start to the season, even if he's 100% healthy. And just the fact that he's on the PUP list now means that he's not, which means he might not have the best start to the season. So that's something to be careful of. Maybe in fantasy, that sort of drops his value a little bit. But I mean, just in real life too, it's something to look out for, because we don't know what's going to happen now if he's injured, if he's still injured. And then, like I said, he's going to be rusty going into the season too. So that's sort of like a double whammy, a double no-no in terms of fantasy or just anything. That's not a good sign. We also have some signings here. I'm trying to go in chronological order as best as possible, and not by category of the news. So it might seem a little bit jumbled here. We have La'el Collins. Cowboys agreed a 2-year, $15.4 million contract with him. So they're re-signing their O-line there, which is good for the Cowboys. Something interesting here, Cody Kessler might be starting for the Browns by the time week 1 rolls around. So let's see. Coming out of camp, we have Hugh Jackson saying that Cody Kessler will be taking the first snaps at QB in Browns camp, and that means that he might be starting, like I said, by the time the regular season comes around. So that'll be interesting to watch the QB situation over there. I mean, no one really knows what's going on over there with the Browns, because their QB situation is sort of all jumbled up now. But interestingly enough, Cody Kessler looks to be like the front runner there right now. So we'll see going forward. We'll see what happens in camp. It might not stay that way, but right now he is the front runner. So that might be surprising to some of you, but that's just what's going on. That's just the truth right there. Let's see what else we have here. We have Devontae Booker. Broncos running back Devontae Booker injured his wrist. Is expected to miss up to 6 to 8 weeks, so that's pretty big. I feel like the Broncos always have problems with their running backs and their running backs getting injured, and that's unfortunate. And it was before they said they don't know how he broke his wrist or something. I don't know. he's expected to miss 6 to 8 weeks, so that's bad. Let's see. And today, the Cowboys have signed Luke McCown as their backup QB. So for anyone that likes Luke McCown or anything, I don't know, that for some reason that was like the biggest story today. I think it was just a slow news day in terms of football, but that was apparently the big deal in everything. So now I'm gonna go. Hold on, I know this is out of order, so I'm sort of going back to the beginning of the week again. Jabril Peppers has signed his contract with the Cleveland Browns. That was on the 23rd, so that was earlier in the week. Oh yeah, then there was this whole story with Lucky Whitehead, and he got. Let's see if I can find it. He got arrested, then dropped by the Cowboys, then picked up by the Jets, all in the same week. So he's definitely had a really busy week. I don't know if he's going to be suspended or not yet. Now going into the season, he might be. I don't have an answer for you on that one. Uh, Considering he was arrested, I don't know what's going to happen now going forward. I don't know if he's going to jail or what or anything for a short amount of time. But I know the Jets picked him back up, so I guess he's going to be playing at least partially in the season. So, and maybe returning kicks again for them. We'll see. RG3 went to work out for the Chargers as well. And I think the entire week the Chargers have. I have another story here about the Chargers signing a backup QB, or though they traded for Cardale Jones. They traded a late round pick for Cardale Jones, who was previously the Buffalo Bills backup QB. So now he is their. So now Cardale Jones is the LA Chargers backup QB. And so I thought this was just interesting because at the beginning of the week, they had RG3 working out there with them. Then sort of in the middle of the week, they went and they actually traded for a guy. So clearly, the Chargers have been going after a backup QB, and they've been trying to get one. So I don't know if that means that they have some sort of insider info on Phil Rivers. I don't know if that means he hasn't been doing well in camp, or they expect him not to do well in camp, or they think he's going to get hurt, or some other issue there. But I just thought that was interesting, seeing that and seeing how quick they were to try to get a backup QB so badly when Phil Rivers seems to be doing fine to me, or at least, he seemed to be doing fine. I don't know if there's something going on there behind the scenes. We'll have to check out, but that'll be something interesting to watch too. We also have Joe Flacco. Ian Rappaport says Ravens QB Joe Flacco is preparing to miss 3 to 6 weeks with a disc issue in his back, out at least a week or two, sources tell me. So I was sort of confused as to what this meant, and I didn't really do any more digging because I just was like, okay, Flacco is going to have surgery or something, and that's going to be a pretty big issue with his back. And he's going to miss some time. So this says he's preparing to miss 3 to 6 weeks. I assume that means from now. I mean, as of this week when this news was announced. But then it says out at least a week or two. So this means that Flacco might not even be starting the season. He might not even be ready to start the season, I assume, is what that means. So that's really big news, because now the Ravens are going to have to scramble to find someone to play there at QB. And it goes back to the Andrew Luck thing too, is okay, yeah, sure, Flacco might be ready to start physically, but he's going to be missing all this camp time now and training time now that he will definitely be rusty and still getting over an injury, even if he starts week 1. So that's, not good for Ravens fans or Joe Flacco out there. We have Jordan Reed placed on the PUP list. Jordan Reed is the tight end on the Redskins. I just thought that was funny because he gets hurt every single year. So now he's just, why waste any time? I'm just going to start the season hurt. So he's now injured. We'll see if he's removed before the season starts. My guess would be yes, but at the same time, maybe not. Maybe it's really bad. He gets hurt every year. So even if he is there at the start of the season, I'm sure he'll get hurt again before the end of the season. And we have finally here, well, maybe not finally, but I don't know. Yeah, but about finally, we have DeAndre Hopkins seeking a new contract. And he says he's disappointed with the offers that he's gotten so far. He's going to be a free agent in 2018. So that'll be interesting to watch too, because obviously I think he's a very underrated receiver, and unfortunately has suffered because of the quarterback situation over there in Houston. So, if someone picks him up, or if the Texans are stupid enough to let him go, then, damage on another team and be a huge part of the offense over there. So that is interesting. And that's, again, something we'll have to watch going forward as well. And that is basically the news. Now everything is all caught up with the Luke McCown signing with the Cowboys as a backup. And hopefully this helped. Hopefully this is a good summary of the news stories of the week. And hopefully next week we'll be back for a full-on podcast and more news and everything. And then that's when I'll see you again. All right? See you later.